What does that mean? And every day and every way, take the piece of the earth and make it stronger. What does that mean? That means, how do you do that? Rotate the vice. Which way? How do you do that? It's pretty obvious how you do that. To take the piece of the earth and make it stronger, it means that that piece is a piece of you. And in every day and every way, you have to be like that pebble in the pond. And those waves are your actions. And those actions from good thoughts, good words, good actions, good deeds, good outcomes. We all did that in every day and every way. We'd have peace on earth. And how do you get good thoughts, good words, good actions, good deeds, good outcomes? Well, first off, everything isn't about us, meaning me. It's not about me. The world does not revolve around me. It's not about me. And you want a good interview, you ask questions that bring forth an answer from the other person that connects to all our relations outside the separation that the ego causes. The ego is just a tool to motivate the action of we, the individual, the artist in the first person, to co-create love, And that is what the universe is about, that co-creation of love. Everything else is an illusion. All of the other wars and fictions and prejudice and scary monsters, in reality, those are all illusions created by our ego to manifest action. Right? But we can either have, in every day, we take the piece of the earth and make it stronger, or we can have neuroses and psychoses, And that's when, humanity actually needs chaos, but just enough to mix it up, Not enough to throw things way out of balance. The universe, nature, however you want to talk about it, his motivating force is balance, Now, too much balance and we're all stuck in concrete and falling asleep on the couch eating potatoes, where we become a potato, a couch potato. Anyway, this is a short one. I just wanted to do a morning stroll through my stroll of consciousness. And to tell you that I love you and that, everything just needs to be put in context, and that context is love's co-creation. So if we can all go there as all our relations, we can have peace on earth, and not some kind of 1984 dystopian or utopian, in Brave New World. I mean, that was kind of nice. Everybody got to go to the mall, and after they stopped looking pretty, they kind of were turned into dog food. But soy green, it's people. We're pretty much eating ourselves, one way or the other, And so go out there, have the best day you can. And how may you do that? Well, what makes you happy when you cut it all down? What makes you happy is making others happy. So, go on out there and make some folks happy. Okay, so that's 5 minutes and 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 11 seconds. I'm gonna put the camera sideways, even though the thing says rotate device. Share. Uh, oh yeah, yeah. Anyway, uh, scarf. Okay. Anyone have anything to say before I say have a good day? I love you guys. You're the best, my cadre. You stay well. You stay conscious, you know. It's so easy for us to just do. I can be such a pudding head sometimes, and we all can. So we got to cut ourselves and all our relations a little slack. You know, the best thing, the first thing, within the context of in every day and every way, take the piece of the earth and make it stronger, is that we have to forgive ourselves. Not forgive ourselves like a lot of people. I'm an electrician. Right? That's one of my go-to things. And these days, being my body is a little burnt out. I kind of toasted it too many times. My rotator cuffs, my arms, I can't leave them out. I put so many light fixtures up over my head, so many 2x4s, so many fluorescent fixtures, which are heavy, go into hung ceilings, etc., etc. Anyway, being an electrician, I can go into any town anywhere on the planet. Everybody needs a good electrician. I go basically to your basic supply store and wait till I see the most anxious person come in who's getting materials. I go, oh, so you got a problem. What can I help you with? And they want to vent, so they'll tell me. And I said, well, I can fix that. And I go off and help them do it, and I become their best sliced bread. Oh, I want to, and I said, I don't want to be your employee. I'm your consultant. And, oh, I love you, Mr. Lunatic. Anyway, so wherever I go, I can, that's one of the things. Even now, I'm a good person to run jobs, because I know mistakes can happen and what people need, and I can be right there to intercede so they don't screw up. Because the biggest problem of any contractor is going back and fixing things. If you do it right the first time, it's all done, and that's life. If you do it right the first time, right? So that's what we need to, focus on. Keep our eye on the ball. Don't get distracted. So anyway, I worked for this one electrician, and this guy, he was like one of the better ones. So they did, not just houses, but we did everything. Shops, stores, businesses, factories, you name it, we did it. And one of the things we were doing was this big mega church, right? And the problem that this contractor had, he had three sons who were total morons. And just because their daddy was rich and he employed them, and no matter how they screwed up, he wouldn't fire them. So we'd be on jobs as, don't, you know, you can't tell me what to do. My name's on the truck. Well, good for you. But they did some really, we did a hospital. And, hospitals, you got to wire right because you can kill people. Anyways, I mean, there's a lot of equipment, a lot of things, you can really screw things up. So, I was always making sure they didn't do that. And the other thing was, I was always going back and fixing things that they did. So they had wired this mega church, and they used this stuff called MC. It's armored cable instead of Romex, and that goes into commercial kind of things, right? And they call it flexible conduit. Not really, but it's armored. That's what I would call it, armored. That's what back in the day they called it. So anyway, back in the day they called it BX, but now they call it MC. But anyway, what these morons did was, so it's metal. So when you cut it and you put it into a connector, there's a sharp metal edge unless you file it down. So every roll of this cable, they give you this little bag of these insulators. They're super red, 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 so you can see them. And you slip them in there so that plastic insulator protects the wire, the conductors, from that metal edge. Anyway, there was, they just threw those bags of insulators away, and they're really orange because the inspector can see them. Just look in a box, and you can see that little red thing in the connector. And obviously, the inspectors were as much a moron as these boys because, it passed. But light fixtures and switches and outlets were blowing out of the wall and people were getting serious shocks. So I realized that I had to go back and fix every one of the 400, switches, outlets, light fixtures, and put, and that's pretty hard to do once the sheetrock and paint is over the thing. Really easy to do when you're putting it in there, but it's pretty difficult and not messing things up. So I'm pretty good. It's like surgery. I made a little hole. I pulled the cable down. I put the thing in, put it back up, screwed it up, and then kind of plastered over the hole. And so anyway, when I wasn't working on one of the newer projects and I had a free moment, I would go over to that church and fix things. Because I was a big client of theirs, and it was a big mega church, and put a lot of people's safety at risk. And the bottom line, my employer was liable for it. And one of the things that truly was horrific that these moron boys did was that they really screwed up the grounding of the whole place. Meaning, there's some places where the ground was actually carrying current from a backfeed of some God knows what, and I had to go through everything to find things like that. So, I documented it. I gave, the proposal to my employer and said, hey, this is what's wrong. This is how much time it's going to take. Probably more than if they had done it right from the beginning, and he's just going to, we'll fix it. So I'm in there, and, like I said, I'm not there all the time, but, I'm there enough where I'm omnipresent, right? Well, I'm there, I'm always like there so much that people ignore that I'm even there. So I'm like in this office, that office, and I'm hearing, because I'm, the anthropologist, the forensic anthropologist I am, psychologist. I'm listening to everybody's everything. And there's obviously their board is beyond corrupt. They're lawyers and judges and, business folk, but, the constant thing in this, these are the richest guys in that community, and they're amazingly corrupt. And along with their illegal dealings, they're doing really nasty, inappropriate things on a human scale. And so this one guy is really, worse than a Catholic priest, and he's not even a minister. He's just on their board. Anyway, and this is what I'm talking about, forgiveness and, starting off each day. This guy would do something really bad in the church to one of the churches young, and they'd find out about it, and they keep it on the QT, and they would baptize him, right? Because you're born again in this church, every time you get baptized. So this guy had been baptized, I don't know, 89 times in the last, year. And instead of saying, stop it, don't do that, because he was giving them so much money to build the next building, the next megachurch, they just took the check. And that goes down in lots of, Catholic Church used to sell indulgences. Anyway, I was hoping Jesus would take part and give that guy, because he would like hold onto the rail and feel, ooh, I feel this, It was really the 240 coming in through what the moron boys did. And every time I tried to figure out what they did wrong, it was like, forget about it. I couldn't figure it out. And I'm the best at figuring those kind of things. I basically had to run a whole friggin' new line and isolate that baptismal pool. It was like a little swimming pool from everything else. I took a jackhammer and boom, 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 a isolated ground for just that thing, and that got rid of the problem. But, that wasn't on the top of my list. The top of my list was things that would burn the friggin' place down. So anyway, that's what I'm talking about. If we do not, yes, we screw up, we're venal, we are really morons, but if we take that screw up and use it as a lesson and we try not to do it again, and not because we feel scared or threatened, but no, because we want to do better, move forward, ascend our spirit, that's what that's about. That's why we're here. We're not perfect. We're not going to all look more like movie stars. We have to accept who we are, our venality, and move forward. Baby steps. Be better and better. Baby steps. You can't do it like that. Baby steps. I lost 270 pounds, give or take, and I'm still losing weight, but it took me 5 years. I wasn't going to I mean, I was stuck in a place where I was on the Auschwitz diet for about 6 weeks. I only had onions and water to sustain myself, and it changed my metabolism, and I no longer wanted that cookie or that brownie or that cheeseburger. I changed my diet. So when I say in every day and every way, take the piece of the earth and make it stronger, that's what I'm talking about. Baby steps, because if we try and, I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to be this, I'm going to be that, it's not going to happen. You kind of have to set yourself a protocol and move forward step by step. And the only motivation you have to serve is not your ego. Oh, I'm going to look better, I'm going to be a movie star, oh, I'm going to be famous. No. The thing you serve is love's intent. To in every day and every way take the peace of the earth by co-creating with love that environment. So here we are, 18 minutes and 44 seconds, and I will say au revoir at 19 minutes and 19 seconds. Now go forth and in every day and every way take the peace of the earth and make it stronger. Marshall, good to see you, my friend. Also, Mr. Lunatic or Ms. Lunatic, come by more. We had a great chat last night. We all visited Fairyland, which was quite extraordinary. Okay, we're coming up on 1919. I love you guys. Yep, tonight. Come tonight. Miss. Okay, miss. I love those little. I'm getting into emojis. Okay, we passed 1919. That's all right. Maybe 2020. How about that? Well, the weather, went to 50 degrees during the day and 40 at night, and it rained for 3 days straight. So we got rid of the snow. So that's good. So I'm back up at the school rather than the presidential suite or my friends' couches. And so, I hope all is well. I know it's doing better and better for me in every day and every way. 20 minutes, and we're counting down to 20 seconds. And I love you all. See you tonight around 7 p.m. Try to get some more folks. We are digging deeper into the esoteric, right? The hidden knowledge, which is right in front of us. Okay? Okay. I love you guys. I'll wait till 21:21. And so put your thinking hats on and think about what we should talk about tonight and come to the chat around 7 p.m. Okie doke. Between 7 and 7:30. Subscribe and put that little bell on and I'll be there. Okay? Anyway, so you're the best. I love you all. Let's see. Well, if you're sleeping there, Miss Lunatic, just go back and take a look. And drop me any kind of message you want to add to my Gmail, the Dude Awake 42 at Gmail, right? And go take a look at my writing at XRATTED, X-rated blogspot.com, xrated.blogspot.com. Okay. You have a good day now. I'm always there for you. Love you. See you soon.